Hello. Welcome to this quick live stream. This is a quick live session. I just wanted to quickly share with you 5 ways to deal with fear in these times of uncertainty. So just to give you a little background, last week I am an adjunct lecturer at one of the Nigerian private universities we have. And I was going to school to lecture last week Friday. Before I left home, I received a call from one of our supervisors, and she said, "Mr. Dayo, no need to come to school anymore because the school has just been closed. The school has been shut down till further notice." And by that, it means that the school system was just upended by the outbreak of coronavirus. Of course, that's because they don't want others to be infected with that, right? But it also brings another concern because aside from the school being shut down, a lot of other facets of our society is now currently being shut down. I mean, banks are beginning to close. At least I saw on Access Bank had some days ago memo that they said that Access Bank is closing, one particular Access Bank is closing. And a neighbor of mine went to the bank yesterday, and in order to enter the bank, she has to wait for someone else to come out before she can actually enter the bank. So if you actually look at it, a lot of things are being upended right now, and this may be creating a lot of uncertainty. In fact, this is the time of uncertainty. Now, the current state of the world right now has gone from the level of calm to chaos. Of course, nations are now beginning to tell the story that we actually don't know what to do. For example, as with the case with Italy. Now, Nigeria is still handling matters very well, so I give kudos to Nigeria for that. Now, if I'm going to take this away completely from a global and a national issue and bring it to a personal issue, in these times of uncertainty, you could probably be panicking. In fact, a few days ago, I saw a post by someone. It says that I wanted to do panic buying until I checked my bank account, and then I began to panic. Each time I remember that story, it just makes me laugh. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this live stream, by the way? The main reason why I'm doing this video is to help you with tools that can help you deal with fear in these times of uncertainty. And I'm going to be sharing 5 ways that you can actually deal with fear during these times of uncertainty. The stock market is being affected. Business as usual is beginning to go down, and a lot of other things are beginning to be affected. So how can you actually handle this? This is exactly what I want to share with you. So I'm going to be walking you through 5 ways to deal with fear in these times of uncertainty. And if you're joining me live, please leave a comment so that I know that you are here with me live. And I want to say thank you very much for joining me. So as not to waste your time, 5 ways to deal with fear in these times of uncertainty. Number 1, I want you to understand that inaction is actually a good thing. In fact, the way I like to say it is that during times of uncertainty, when you are uncertain about what's going on, not taking any action at all is actually a good thing. And here's what I mean. Sometimes fear drives people to behave in ways they later get to regret. Sometimes fear drives people to behave in ways that are opposite of what they truly want to do. And this can actually create a lot of chaos. It can even expand the problem even further. Which is why my belief is that sometimes in times of uncertainty like this, not doing anything at all may actually be far beneficial than running around with fear and letting fear be the major thing that actually guides your decision. In fact, we had fear resolve process over the weekend, and one of the principles of fear resolve is that any decision made out of fear usually don't lead to a good thing. Sometimes when you make decisions out of fear, it could lead to a good thing, but sometimes out of fear, when people make decisions, sometimes it could also lead to a bad thing. So I need to first of all help you understand that. So inaction in these times of uncertainty is a good thing. You don't have to do anything. In fact, If all that you want to do is just to explore the universe within you, that is a far better thing to do than to move into action out of panic, to do things out of panic, and then later on you get to regret them. So that's the first thing I need you to understand. The second thing I want you to understand is that during this time of uncertainty, all that happens on social media is basically commentary. Everybody will have one advice or the other. Some people will even be peddling information that is incorrect. I remember reading a journalist report some days ago, and they said that the epidemic is small in capacity to the infodemic that people are actually suffering. And what does infodemic mean? It means misguided information that people are actually pushing out in regards of this coronavirus outbreak. So the thing is, while a lot of information, while a lot of people want to share things, while a lot of people want to say things, be careful to not take the opinions of people as advice. Be careful not to take the opinions of people as recommendations. In fact, if you remember some days ago, some people actually said that in order to cure the coronavirus, that they should consider chloroquine or to use chloroquine. I had to go research and to find out that actually chloroquine does not work with everybody's system. So for some people, chloroquine may work. For people like me, chloroquine will actually trigger body rash. I mean, I'll be scratching my body, all kind of things. So you need to be careful with the kind of information that you actually consume online. Particularly, I will always want you, if you can, there's a website that I usually check. It's called AFP Fact Check. If you can, get on AFP Fact Check before you can actually believe anything you find on social media. And when I say AFP Fact Check, I mean, I remember days ago when they said that chloroquine was, is now, it solves or cures coronavirus. And I went to AFP Fact Check to go check, and I found that that was fallacy. That was not true. So before you actually take anything you find online, especially during these times, before you take it in, be sure to first of all fact check, including videos, pictures. I remember a picture that I saw. It took AFP Fact Check for me to debunk that idea. And even somebody was even saying that eating banana will cure coronavirus. And I was like, are you kidding me? Ordinary banana? Yes, it may boost your immune system, but that doesn't mean that it cures coronavirus. So you need to understand that. So that's the second thing. All commentary, all that social media will be giving you right now is basically commentary. Nobody has expert advice on coronavirus right now. So you need to be aware of that. And then third thing you need to also do in these times of uncertainty, you need to be able to manage fear and all the feelings that come with these uncertain times, is to understand that you don't have to, in fact, the way I like to say it is to stop looking for problems, especially stop looking for problems that don't exist. I know it's a difficult thing for some people to actually be in isolation. I know it's a difficult thing for some people to not be able to do anything in this kind of time. And I know it's a difficult thing for some people to actually find it weird to not be active in these times. But you know, the interesting thing is that not doing anything is good. Not looking for a problem is also good. I know some people will start looking for, okay, so what's the project that I should have done that I have not done till now? Yes, that's a good thing, okay? But when you start looking for problems that don't exist, fear will be triggering in your system, and it will make you be on a search. So you constantly begin to search, and because your alarm system and your alert is on, you will now begin to look for things that are not missing, things that you have not lost. So please, this time of uncertainty, stop looking for problems that don't exist. In fact, the way I like to say it is, you start seeing old shoes as a problem, and for some people they start stocking up on supplies. The truth is that there are many problems that the world currently has. Coronavirus is not the only one, but if you don't actually take care of your mental health, you will put yourself in a position where it becomes very difficult for you to actually get past this locked down season. Of course, a lot of us are locked down. They have given us a lot of precautions. They have given us a lot of things to do and not to do. Yes, go by those things. But the most important thing is, don't let the prevention of coronavirus, don't let it create other problems that you don't want. Now, number 4 thing, and number 4 way to actually handle fear in these times of uncertainty is to find a way to connect to a bigger purpose. I mean, let me even tell you a story. So, back during the time of World War II, there was a woman who actually, she was locked in, just like all of us are now locked in. And of course, during World War II, there was a lot of lockdown, right? So she was locked in, and she decided that what if I actually take this time to find solution to a particular problem that some people were having. Interestingly, she was I think she was a Jew or so, or she was from Israel or something like that, or Hebrew or something like that. And you know the interesting thing, she was able to find solution to a particular problem that a lot of people were having. And by the time World War II was over, she had a bigger purpose than what she was living for before World War II came to pass. What am I trying to tell you here? This season of uncertainty, these times of uncertainty may be the best time for you to actually find a purpose that's bigger than yourself. This may be the time for you to connect to something that God wants you to connect to. This may be the time for you to actually uncover who you truly are. At Fear Resolve during the weekend, I remember asking participants that if you take away everything you do today, what will be left of you? And you know the interesting thing? It's easy to define ourselves by the roles we play in the world. But a lot of times, we don't know who we are in the world. In fact, a lot of people who teach you purpose may just be teaching you what role you want to play. They may not be teaching you who you truly are. So this time of uncertainty may be the best time to actually uncover who you truly are. As I said earlier on, this may be the time for you to discover the universe that is within you. Now, the last thing I would like to also let you know in these times of uncertainty is to increase self-care. I was speaking with someone some days ago, and I was asking her, I said, when was the last time you actually took care of yourself? That is, you did not try to take care of your family. You actually took care of yourself as a human being. And she said, it's been a very, very long time. And I was like, well, you are not the only person. I've seen a lot of other persons who have relegated themselves to the background, and all the care and attention that they can muster up, they pour it on other people and leave themselves out of this. In these times of uncertainty, one of the best things you can do right now is to actually increase your self-care. I remember listening to Paul Chek some days ago, and he said that sleep is one of the cheapest, most effective medicine known to man. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, really? And to be clear, research has actually proven that you need a minimum of 6 to 8 hours sleep every single day. So if you are utilizing these times of uncertainty to actually work yourself out, you will I remember a story. You would come back from break and look worn out than before you went on break. So this may be the time to actually take the much needed rest that you've always looked for. This may be the ample time to do that. Of course, there are a lot of other things that we can actually talk about, but I've just decided to limit it just to these 5 things that you can do starting today. Number 1, you don't have to start looking for projects to execute. You can enjoy the inaction that this time brings. You don't have to start looking for something you need to do. You can actually enjoy the inaction that this time brings. In fact, the way I said it earlier on is that inaction in these times of uncertainty is a good thing. You don't have to start running around trying to do something. Second thing is, during this time of uncertainty, all things you find on social media, in fact, the way I said it is, all social media has now is commentary. Nobody has expert advice on coronavirus yet. And so, everything that's going on social media, don't take them personally. Don't even try to apply something someone said to your own life right now. In fact, even what I'm saying right now, if it works for you, fine, go ahead and use it. If it doesn't, please discard it. Again, all social media right now is commentary. I know I'm doing this on social media right now, right? Number 3 thing is, stop looking for problems that don't exist. In these times of uncertainty, it's easier for us to start looking for what's not working, what has not been working, and so you start looking for problems that you want to solve. The good thing is you don't have to solve any problem, which connects to the 4th thing, which is this is the time of uncertainty, this time of being locked down, being locked in, being locked out for some people. This may be the time to actually connect to a bigger purpose, a purpose that is bigger than yourself. This may be the time for you to discover the universe that exists within you. This may be the time to understand that if you are stripped of everything you do, who would be left of you? This may be the time to actually begin to uncover the true you. And so these times of uncertainty may be the time for you to actually pay more attention to your own life, to the timeline of your entire life, and look at the pattern that has emerged over time and begin to utilize that to a positive use for yourself. And the last thing that I mentioned is, this may be the time for you to increase the amount of self-care you give to yourself. Of course, it's easier to take care of family, it's easier to take care of your spouse, it's easier to take care of the things that are going on around you. In fact, some people may see this time as a time to clean up their house and make the community project something they want to do. This may actually be the time to actually focus on yourself. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you don't take care of yourself, it will eventually tell in your attitude, your behavior, even the way you feel. So this is what I thought to quickly share with you. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joined me live. Thank you very, very much. K Victory, Kachi, Fisaya, Madam Joanna, thank you very much. And in case you have questions you would like to ask, please leave them down in the comments below so that I can actually take them. I am excited for what this particular time is also bringing. It's helping us to understand that business as usual may not continue for that long. And so this may be a time to also rethink your business model. I am Dayo Samuel, and I want to say thank you very, very much for joining me in this live stream. Abraham Ologududu, you are very welcome. Only that I'm almost done here. So thank you very much. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know that if this has been helpful to you, please, you can share it with someone, or you can, of course, let somebody else see this. Especially those people who have been spreading false information. You remember I mentioned infodemic, right? Infodemic is worse than epidemic, because infodemic is the misguided information that people share along with the epidemic that is happening. So this is Dayo Samuel once again saying that thank you very much for joining me in this live stream. I look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. That is if I come again live. But just before you go, remember to check out my YouTube channel. You find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/I am Dayo Samuel. There are tons, if not hundreds of videos. There are actually about 80 public videos there that you can actually see that can help you with your mental and emotional well-being. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very, very much. I'm trying to check if there's anybody else here that is okay. So with that, I'll see you next time.